Welcome back to the Up and Down matches. We are in our 4th set out of 5,
yes.
And 2 players are taking an early lead.
Exactly. Right now it is time for MC Terminator, but in the group another Protoss player is shining. It is Finale and MC. Terminator has 2 losses. There's the chart, the overview for you guys. 2-0, 2-0, MC and Finale. Hard and Happy tied in the middle. And Sparta and Terminator at the end of the list.
Yep, they're not doing so well. Terminator, following the trend of Casper Protoss, is really struggling up and down.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday. You know, I feel like we were pretty right about what we said when the Casper Protoss first, or the Casper players first appeared. Some of them are really, really good, and I mean, we have Rain, who is probably one of the best players in the entire world right now. But just this hype that we saw at the beginning when everyone was worried that, for example, the GSL players would completely fall off the grid, has not been proven true. There are a lot of Casper players that do quite well in Code A and also in Code S, but in general you can see that the former GSL players, just the former Starcraft 2 players and the new Casper players, they really mix well together. We have a lot more competition right now in Starcraft 2, exactly what we wanted to, but not this domination that some people expected. Terminator here today was not too lucky. Can he win against MC? He really needs a win now. If he loses, then he is going to play in Code A next season.
Yep, see if he needs a refill on his energy, what he needs, a software update, or if he is actually just going to show us that the current version of the Terminator can get out of this group. This is the GSL Up and Down matches cast by Calder and Wolf for season number 5, 2012's Code S. Let's jump into Antigua Shipyard right now.
At the bottom of the map, we have starting in red, of course, the one and only Casper Protoss player in this group.
Ace Team, Terminator.
He said earlier he would be back, and there he is.
Yeah, he's back. He may be a Terminator, but he's not a Dominator right now.
No, not really. Too many John Connors in this group. To the top of the map, the boss toss in blue, and he played like a boss today so far. 2-0 in the group. Can he win the third match?
SKMC.
This is our first Protoss versus Protoss of the day, and it may be our last, but we'll see. If MC takes this win, it makes the group very lopsided.
Yep. MC and Finale could really dominate this group. They face each other in the last set of matches that we have today. So if up to this point they win every single game, we could actually have 2 Protoss players advance really, really fast today. But well, let's not get ahead of ourselves too fast. As you can see on the scoreboard to the top, Terminator without a single win today, MC with 2 already. This is what the Terminator wants to change, and he has to. If he loses here, he will be on 0-3. And I guess there is still a chance that you might end up in some kind of weird tie situation. But honestly, if Terminator loses here, he's out.
That's true. There's no way that... Well...
He has to face Finale later and Sparta. So yes, there could be some weird tiebreaker with 2-3 for second place, I guess. But it's highly unlikely.
Agreed. Both players going for the same build, by the way. Second gas going up by identical timing, not a rushed second gas, not a 2-2 second gas, just a normal one. The one variation here being that Terminator is actually getting a Zealot out, whereas MC has decided to skip that in hopes of a faster gateway. And his wish is granted, there it is.
And we have now the second gateway started for MC. Gets the scouting information here.
Yeah,
goes in before the Zealot is out.
Terminator doesn't take his second gate. He may go for a fast pilot council here, for example. He's going for a sentry first, though.
Yeah, he has the double gas loop point sentry for Terminator, whereas MC starts with his first Stalker.
He really wants to put some pressure on with the double gateways he's added here.
Yeah.
He may go into double sentry behind this. We've seen players like Creator do this in the past, where you just get those sentries out to hold your expansion. What is Terminator's plan here? He's got almost 100 gas. He's going to make a tech choice very soon, very likely.
It looks like he's just trying to expand pretty soon. He has 2 sentries already. He's playing this a lot more defensive than MC. MC, yeah, that's the expansion for Terminator, as assumed. And MC is going for the Stalkers. Will most likely reveal his tech pretty fast, pretty soon. There it is, Twilight Council. Alright, so we have like This awesome combination of strategies on this map. This is also something that you see quite often on Cloud Kingdom, but Antigua Shipyard is one of the maps where you can really work well if you go with a Blink build. What MC will most likely go for as well is a robotics pretty soon, so that he has the one scout. Goes into double gates now, so he's on 4 gates, will have the Blink upgrade and might not even get his...
He's definitely not going to get a robo.
Yeah,
here.
might not get his robo here, exactly.
He's got enough gas to make DTs, but he wouldn't do that with 4 gates. That just doesn't make sense. There's the blink immediately. He's going to spend every resource he has on Stalkers from here on out.
Without the robotics, MC will of course not have the high ground vision, so that's going to be a bit of a problem for him.
And luckily for him though, you know, his opponent has this kind of somewhat risky Nexus. Obviously if you can get the Immortals out, you're going to feel pretty safe. That's why he goes Immortal before Observer here. He's got sentries to deny DT, so he doesn't need that Observer. But MC can fight on the ground against pure Sentry really, really easily with this composition.
There are 2 ways to play this. Either you go for the build that MC chooses, then you want to pressure the expansion, or you go for the robotics as well, then you can go into the main base because you have the Observer, but of course your push is going to be a little bit later and not as powerful. But MC at this point, as you can see on the board, has 5 Stalkers to 1, only 1 Immortal out, and he doesn't start the second one. He has an Observer first.
He is trying to draw these sentries back towards the Stalkers, but unfortunately for him, his Stalkers didn't have Blink yet.
But there are so many of them. This expansion is most likely going to die.
Yeah, it's going to be too hard for him to get his Immortals down the ramp, I feel. The first Observer comes out for Terminator. That really cut down on his Immortal production time, so the second Immortal is not going to be out in time for this. And without it, I don't think he's going to be able to break down the ramp. He's going to... Any unit he tries to attack with on the ramp will just be taken out. And he actually wants to fight it. I don't think that's a good choice.
MC is starting to kill probes. Kills 2 of them. Where's the second round of warp-ins for him? He could warp in units. There they are, 4 Stalkers. This puts his Stalker count up to 13 against 4. The 2 Immortals, of course, his biggest concern.
Yep. And he wants to poke here. Nice micro. There's so many Stalkers here, but he can't quite get those Immortals down.
Nice blink so far by MC.
Yeah, he wants to get that next round of warp-ins in ASAP.
Didn't lose a lot, but falls back now. Waits for the next round of warp-ins, as you already said. But the problem is with the third Immortal, I think he's not able to break through there. 3 Immortals do so much damage, and if Terminator is careful, he should be able to defend.
I think you're right.
There it is. 3rd Immortal in the game.
He's got some Zealots in the mix now as well, but with those sentries, it's not going to be easy to use them. MC needs to be very careful with his Stalkers right now. He's losing a lot of hit points on those.
MC is behind in army supply. He's now getting sentries so that he also has the Guardian Shield up later on, but right now Terminator is looking really strong here.
Yeah. And MC is looking really desperate. He can use these the sentries to use Guardian Shield, but also he can try to zone out the Immortals, try to trap them on the outside.
Yeah, MC is behind in Harvester's and has no expansion.
He's just going to make a Nexus?
He can't win this fight, I feel he has to. He's a little bit out of options, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. And making the Nexus is not an option. You can never fall back like this when your opponent is mined that much, when you also are behind in tech. This is a losing battle for him. So we have seen crazier comebacks in the past, but he's basically just going to hope that Terminator doesn't pay attention to his army when he moves out and he can pick off some units for free.
Terminator has now the better tech in general. He has the well, he doesn't have Blink, but MC also doesn't have an Observer yet, so that he can't blink onto the high ground. Where Terminator sees everything. He has an Observer. He knows what's going on. He also sees that MC doesn't have an expansion. And Terminator has the better army. A way stronger army than MC right now. This is really dangerous. There's no way for MC to attack at this point.
Yeah, there's no way for him to defend either. If Terminator decides to attack without an Observer to blink into the main base, he can't even counter-blink. And MC is chased away already.
Terminator starting his Twilight Council. He wants to have the counter-blink. And MC, on the other hand, is about to complete his Nexus and his Robotics.
For this Nexus of Terminator is already mined. I'm looking at these patches. He's mined about 200 minerals per patch. That's 1,600 minerals for all of the time he's had here that MC just does not have. He's just now beginning to mine. Those are the first minerals being taken. MC's army right now is actually just like an annoying fly that you swing your hand out and it just kind of blinks away, but it's not going to scare Terminator in the slightest. It's going to slightly annoy him, but that's why his counterblink is the Fly Swatter. And Fly Swatters are pretty good against flies. They were developed for that.
They're not as good as against Terminators, though.
That's certainly true.
The T-1000 is on the move.
I don't think MC is going to be able to hold here without perfect force fields, and even if he holds, Terminator does not have to commit. A little engagement here. He's starting to lose some hit points. In fact, the loss of Stalker, he's going to lose a pylon. Now he's supply blocked.
Yes, is supply blocked, and as you already said, the force fields are now key. Blink is not done yet for Terminator. He scouts, of course, what's going on with the one observer that he now has on the high ground. Just went up the choke. And everything is just going Terminator's way. He is still far ahead of his opponent. He has a 10 supply harvester lead. He has the much better income. And both of them going for the robotics bay now. But yeah, this is really dangerous. Terminator can now use this blink that is about to be completed to jump into the main base and pick off another pylon. Decides to go back and yeah, is now currently at the Zalnaga watchtower. Falls back and just starts to drop his first forge.
Yeah, he's even guardian shielding as he goes back just to make sure he's not pursued. MC is so far behind right now. Terminator could have possibly killed him, but he's just playing safe. We may have a game that lasts 15 or 20 more minutes, and MC, all he's going to hope for is that he can get the better Colossus count, or he can get the better engagement when they're on similar Colossi counts. That's all he can hope for, because in a fight without Colossi, he will never beat Terminator's army ever.
Terminator, or MC is just trying to catch up now. Terminator will be ahead in the upgrades. He already started +1, whereas MC hasn't well, finished his forge yet. We have the range upgrade a little bit faster for MC. And now, yeah, Terminator is moving out again. The thing is, as soon as he has the first Colossus, he can walk up the ramp, because well, Colossus is going to crush the force fields. But right now, MC just trying to position himself in the map. Oh wow, that Stalker didn't have a happy life.
Yeah. Not happy at all. Terminator has his counter blink. He's got the observer in the middle of the map. He wants to trap this army of MC. He blinks in, MC blinks out. That's that annoying group of flies.
20 supply ahead for Terminator now. MC building one Colossus, but Terminator already with a double Colossus production thanks to his 2 robotics facilities. And in the third base,
MC doesn't have double Colossus production because it doesn't have that robo, as you said. Third base is going up for Terminator. MC can't do anything about that. And in fact, Terminator could probably just use only Chrono Boost on Colossi when his range finishes go for an attack. He doesn't have charge first either, but that's kind of a desperation move by MC. He only has a few zealots out on the map anyways.
The funny thing is, if Terminator actually wins this game, then it is proven that only John Connor can defeat the Terminator. Only if you're Terran do you have a chance against this guy. Zerg doesn't stand a chance. Protoss, if MC loses here, apparently doesn't stand a chance either. So you have to beat John Connor, you have to beat Human in order to kill him.
Or just Polt.
Well, Polt is Terran, so...
And he's John Connor.
He is John Connor.
So, I guess that covers that.
John Paul Connor.
Well, the Colossus count is starting to look a little bit favorable for Terminator at 3-2, but he stops making double Colossi. And so MC is going to be able to catch up in that sense. His third base is so late, though. This is all going to come down to the engagement if Terminator lets MC max. And so far he doesn't seem keen on it, but he's also not putting on too much pressure.
So far, Skynet is happy. Terminator is doing a great job. Can Skynet actually be happy? Well, I guess not.
Well, I'm looking around the map. I noticed that neither player really has very much harass potential. Terminator does have a Warp Prism on the way. That's going to be really useful for him. There's a pylon to the top right for Terminator that can help him spot 4 units. It's actually a Zealot, not a pylon. My bad, I just verified that. I thought maybe you'd use that for Warp-ins later on. And this game is basically, this is how Protoss vs. Protoss is played right now. You have 2 players fight out in the early game in some way. One player gets ahead, but the defender's advantage is so strong in this matchup that it's so hard to actually attack, so you have to wait until you get maxed out, then it becomes all about positioning.
Terminator is now nearly maxed out. He is 30 supply ahead of MC, is starting with his own Templar Archive a little bit later than MC. MC already has the first Archon in the game. And the double Colossus production now. Terminator is actually on the same Colossus count as his opponent. The upgrades are a little bit better for MC because he just Chrono Boosts better.
Yeah. The Colossus count is 5-5, but MC's going to pull ahead, and Terminator's sinking resources into harassment now, but if MC builds a better composition and fights him with it, he might win. Terminator's going to try to draw MC out of position with this drop and then go for the better concave.
And I actually misread the 2 production caps, and Terminator is ahead in the upgrades just by a little bit. Now the jump into the main base with Blink, taking those Harris units out. And will Terminator try to use this timing that he has in order to go into the main? No, he doesn't. Doesn't walk to the 3rd base. Cross count is 6-6, so first Archons now for Terminator.
Terminator has so much resources that he actually killed a ton of his own Zealots and Stalkers to make 3 extra Archons right now. He's going to try to fight here against MC. MC has a really decent position though, and he comes in from the back with some Blink Stalkers.
Uh-oh.
This is the best thing MC could hope for.
MC is now suddenly in a position where he can take these units down. Those Immortals are giving the Stalkers a hard time on the other hand. And now MC is being forced back as he doesn't have a shield anymore. There are just too many Immortals. They pressure the Colossi back. MC has the better Immortal count, but not for long.
No, this is going to be the end of MC. Even with that cool engagement with the Stalkers, there's way too many warp ins. GG.
The Terminator prevails. MC loses his first map today. Terminator saves his chances to go to Codes. Yeah, that's all she wrote. MC falling behind early on. Terminator with a better build, good defense. MC with the Blink couldn't do anything, didn't have this Blink Stalker build with the robotics, so he had only the choice to go into the natural. Couldn't get into the main base, couldn't start to harass over there, and therefore Terminator taking the lead and brought it home.
Terminated him. Takes his first win. Next map is going to be Ohana for these next 2 players coming up here, which is going to be Heart and Finale.
Yep, Heart and Finale, the next 2 players.
Now, if Finale takes this game, he's going to feel in a pretty good spot taking a 3-0 lead in the group. He'll be the only player on 3-0. And he'll have defeated 3 other players. And when you are that ahead in the group and you've beaten 3 players, that means that there's only half the people have the potential of beating you in a tiebreaker situation, and the group isn't over yet. So he's going to be feeling comfortable going in it. He won't clinch it yet, but he's going to be in a spot where he's in the best position out of all the players in the group.
After this game, Finale only has to face Protoss opponents. He has to face Terminator and MC later on. So how the group works for him is that he only has Terran versus Protoss matches first, and then later on he can focus on the mirror match. As you can see, and we mentioned it earlier, there's no Zerg player in this group. Therefore, all the players in this group could prepare for 2 matchups. They only had to prepare for either the TDT or PvP and the Protoss versus Terran. The game is going to take place on Ohana. We have Heart against Finale. Heart so far is on a 1-1 score. Finale is the one player who didn't lose a map just yet after Terminator just defeated MC. He might get the perfect record after 3 games, which gives him an awesome situation in the map. We're going to find out if he's able to pull it off or if Heart now takes his 2nd win. The game is about to be started. It's the Up and Down groups at the GSL Group E. Heart up against Finale. Game about to start, and of course, casted by Colin Wolf.